Speech is not just about the speaker. Certainly a great deal of linguistic interactions depends on the situation. A boss shouldn't be talked to in the same language as one uses for a child, but the speech act itself will cause different things to happen as the idea on its own is expressed. In this video, I'll go through 5 different versions of these. Speech is used to convey ideas and information. There will be a link to another video about this at the end of this one for a deeper look. However, it should be noted that what is meant by information here is extremely broad. For instance, language is certainly used to give people statements. These sort of utterances are called representatives, or sometimes assertives. Essentially, representatives just express statements of fact, such as representatives just express statements of fact. Still, language is not only used to give people statements. This is especially true for day-to-day activity and in situations that have an action tied to the locution itself. Perhaps this is most easy to grasp with declaratives, called declarations sometimes, because these, simply by saying them, make an action occur. You're fired, or also I'm dumping you, or less harshly, you're welcome inside. Merely by saying these actions, it creates a change in the world. There are other speech acts which affect the outside world but don't necessarily change someone's job or relationship status. At least not directly. Expressives, simply enough, express thoughts and feelings. Not only does this include most opinions and other emotions, but also other utterances such as thank you. Furthermore, there are directives, which essentially are just commands and demands that other people need to take action on. These don't need a lot of explanation, but just to clarify, they don't need to be especially harsh. This is essentially just anything said as an imperative. So if you see the verb at the beginning of a sentence, and it isn't a question, it is probably a directive. This is true of the line, turn in your work, but also like, share, and subscribe. What's left is a bit of a hodgepodge, in some respects, commissives. Anytime someone verbally commits oneself to do something, it's a commissive, but it isn't a declarative. So, for instance, I'll get you some water is a commissive, but can I get you some water can also be a commissive, because usually when this is asked, this is done as a sort of a promise, and any type of promise is a commissive. This also includes threats. However, the question structure only goes one way. Can you get me some water is not necessarily a commissive. This is just a brief look, but these 5 categories cover the majority of speech acts. While there are definitely some clear and obvious examples for each of these categories, there is certainly some room for debate on the true intentions at any point when a speaker is speaking, and the way that both the speaker and the listener manage to understand affects this as well. There are also a few other categories of utterances to indicate desire, but this is when this crosses over from a topic that is heavily reliant on a meaning to one that is more reliant on actual verbal constructions, and since English doesn't have a lot of different forms for its verbal constructions compared to a lot of other languages, these are often tricky to nail down and require dedication in a video of their own. Moreover, there is a lot to say in regards to this question, so click the link to subscribe to stay up to date with any preceding videos on the topic. This question about utterances and how they interact with the world around us was first posed by a WordFacts fan. If you have your own questions, you can leave it in a comment below, write to WordFacts on Facebook, or email us here. Otherwise, you can check out the daily blog for more posts and the Patreon to support this channel and get access to WordFacts podcasts and word theories. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.